Hello and welcome back to the Gaming Tech channel, everybody. We're live on YouTube and Twitch, and here we are with our Forza Horizon 5 series. We're in the Shelby GT350R. It's slightly modified, and as we all know, this is a great driver's car. Handles awesome. It's got the super high revving Voodoo motor, the Voodoo engine, the 5.2 that revs to 8250 RPM from factory. But this one goes a little bit beyond 9000 RPM because it's modified. But it's still naturally aspirated, so there's no boost. It's your good old V8, no replacement for displacement. Nice long gears. You got your awesome 6-speed manual transmission. I noticed there was a seasonal championship on the map, so we're gonna attempt that. This car handles so well. I like the analog gauges, With the GT500, they changed it to a digital dash. I'm not really a big fan of that. But with these gauges, we're right at home. This engine loves to rev. Alright, let's set a marker on the map for that seasonal championship. It's hiding over here. Euro High Performance Dailies. Oh, we're in reverse gear. Where's the reverse light? Oh, it's down in the bumper. I almost didn't even see it. It's in the rear diffuser. Alright, we're here. Let's start this championship. So the reward is gonna be a 2009 M5. I already have two of those. I bought one and I won the other one from a championship just like this one. And now we're gonna get our third one. I'm totally okay with that because we can always do different builds with all those cars. One is already built as a drift car and the other one is still stock, and this will be our third one. So I'm totally down for that. So we got 3 different events. Look at that. I am gonna go with the M5 here. The newer M5. Not the newest, but the second newest. Not the latest. So this is a nice car. Wait. Do I have 2 of these as well? This seems stock. Yup, I have 2 of these as well. No way. Because my other M5, the 2018, is fully built. It's like close to 900 horse. And this one is 600, and I believe 600 is the stock horsepower. So, and yeah, even the weight is stock, 4370 pounds. So that's alright. I'm going to be using the stock 2018 M5 to win a 2009. Alright, we're ready. Yeah, as you can tell, there's nothing done to this car. It's completely stock. Should drive fine. We got a twin turbo V8. All-wheel drive. It's a pretty nice car from factory, you know. It doesn't need much. The brakes are really good. A little bit of understeer there. If you're not using the handbrake to get the tail out, you can really run into the understeer. So the only way to counter the understeer is by using a little bit of braking, a little bit of handbrake actually, not brake. Get the power slide going. Well, a drift actually, not a power slide. You know what I mean. So you can fight that understeer with some oversteer. Yeah, you can't really do a power slide because there's not enough power and there's too much grip with the all-wheel drive. So when you throw this car into a corner, instead of just doing a power slide in like how you would in a rear-wheel drive platform, it just understeers. So here I'm trying to do a power slide, but that was all understeer. But again, that's not an issue if you're using the handbrake, you know. So here, I'll show you what I mean. A little bit of handbrake. And perfect. There was no understeer. Again, you don't have this issue with the rear-wheel drive platform. This is only with an all-wheel drive. Alright, let's do the next one. Alright, here's what I'm thinking. We could just go right ahead and start the next event for the championship, but since we have two of these newer BMW M5s, why don't we convert this to rear-wheel drive only? I feel like that's going to be so much fun. Let's do that. Because it's stock power, so we're not going to touch the power. We're going to leave it the way it is. It's completely stock. There's nothing done to it, as you can see. Fully stock. And since we do have another one that's maxed out in terms of power and it's all-wheel drive from factory, for this one, we're going to convert it to rear-wheel drive. So it's not going to launch as good. The acceleration is going to go down. But I feel like it's going to handle better. Let's see if that is actually true or not. So we're going to do rear-wheel drive and we're going to make the rear tires wider since it's rear-wheel drive now. We're going to put the widest rear tires on here. Widest in the front as well. Why not, right? 315s on the front and 325s on the rear. And we're going to improve the compound. We can't do that because this car needs to be in A class in order to attempt our championship event. So we're going to leave it the way it is in terms of tire compound. The stock compound is fine. What else can we do that's gonna help this car? A wing maybe? Oh, I like this. I like this diffuser. It's nice. Well, we're not doing any of that now. Oh, wait. What's that? Oh. A roof spoiler. Okay. Yeah, this doesn't really suit the car. No, we're not doing that. Yeah, it's gonna give us more downforce, but I really like the look of this sedan. We're not adding a big wing on here. Can we make it lighter? Yeah, we can make it lighter. Yeah, we can reduce 122 pounds. I think we already lost some weight by converting it into a rear-wheel drive only. So let's make it a little lighter. We're at 797. That's good. I'm not gonna do the suspension. It's gonna get too stiff. Oh, chassis reinforcement? Yeah, since it's the rear wheel drive, this is really gonna help. We'll do stage 1 here. I'm not putting a roll cage in here, it's too much. This is not a full-blown race car yet. So we'll go with the sport chassis reinforcement. Should help with, you know, a little bit of handling and acceleration there. That's good. What else can we do? Intake? It already has 600 horsepower. We don't need more power. That's the thing. We don't need more power. We just want the car to perform better. Okay, lighter drive shaft. I'm all about it. Maybe lighter wheels? Can we do that? Let's see. Car needs to stay in A class. Yeah, we can definitely do some lighter wheels, it looks like. By doing some lighter wheels, we'll be right at 800. A class. Top of this is class. Top of its class. So that's perfect. I just don't know which style to go for. This kind of suits the car. It's multi-spoke wheel. I'm actually gonna go with these. They don't look that bad. They kind of resemble the stock wheel, but with thinner spokes. But it's much lighter, 35 pounds lighter. Alright, we're done with the setup. It's a very simple setup. We converted it to a rear wheel drive. Wider tires. Street weight reduction, sport chassis reinforcement. Race driveline, and some nice wheels. So as you can see, we made the car lighter, and it's gonna be more grippier now, pulling more lateral G's. Same amount of power. Power did not change because we didn't do anything with the engine. So let's see if we have made this BMW worse or better by converting it to rear wheel drive. It still hooks! No way! No way, it still hooks! And it's not gonna have the understeer problem anymore. I like the wheels. Yeah, once you shift into second gear, it hooks right away. Wait, how many gears do we have now? Do we have only 6 gears? Oh, yeah, we only have 6 gears now. So the stock gearbox, the stock transmission with all-wheel drive from factory was 8-speed. But since we changed it to rear-wheel drive only, and we didn't like upgrade the transmission, we're down to 6 gears. That's fine. That's totally fine, honestly. These ratios seem fine to me. We can always like tinker with these later. Alright, let's do this. This is gonna be fun. Rebel drive. Let's go. I mean, we won the race, so that's good. It felt like the car was a little too light in the rear end. Did handle better, but I feel like it needs better tire compound. I'm gonna make some changes before we go to the next race. Let me see if I can downgrade some of the stuff so I can put some better tire compound on here. That's really gonna help with the handling. So I can get some semi-slicks on here. And now we need to downgrade rest of the stuff. Let's see if we can get this car back in A class. Whoa. I mean, I don't have my headphones on top of my head. They're literally hanging on the back of my toque here. So they just slid right off, bro. That was funny. Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna go ahead with the setup, but I'm just seeing my options here. I don't think this is gonna be worth it. We're still at 810, so that's not gonna work. I'm gonna abandon this setup. Okay. Can I do something else differently? Let's make the car heavier. I'm gonna add the weight back. So I'm gonna make it heavier. And I'm actually gonna put the stock wheels back on. So there's more weight there. And put the stock drive shaft back on. And leave everything else the way it is, yeah. Car just felt a little too light, you know? And we're gonna add race suspension. So we made the car heavier again, but we kept the rear-wheel drive setup, but we lowered it. So let's see how this does. So we're almost close to stock weight. We're still rear-wheel drive, but we have some better suspension now. Let's see if this feels better. All right, we're gonna go with this setup. This feels more planted. All right, where's the next event? This feels much better. Drives so much different compared to the stock all-wheel drive version. Same power, but the way it drives is so much different. The whole dynamics of the car is like completely changed. Alright, we're ready. Considering this is a rear-wheel drive now, it hooks up really good, dude. Get out of my way, bro. No! We're good. We finished second, but in the previous two races we finished first. So overall, we're gonna be first. There we are, with 56 points in total. And that's gonna bring home the win. Another M5 in our garage. I like that. Alright, I really like how this car drives. I wonder if we can add some brakes without putting this car in S1. I know we're done with the championship, but I still want to keep this car under A class in case we need to use it for a different championship. So looks like we can't even change the brakes on this car. That's fine. That's totally fine. We'll just leave it the way it is. So when it comes to BMWs, we have 1, 2, and 3 2009 M5s now. That's crazy, bro. Here's my other 2018 M5. Alright. I like this wiper, the old school ACR wiper. Oh, we got a reward here. Let's see what it is. A wheel spin. Okay, okay. Alright, let's check out that wheel spin. We got 2 wheel spins actually. 20K. Look at that. A Baja Mini Cooper. That's nice, right? Bro, this car is so dark you can't even see it. You can only see the outline and the tail lights. This car sounds deadly. Look how fast the speedo moves. What a torque monster, man. It's got torque for days. Oh no, we're going too fast there. Alright. This car is not really made for smaller roads like that, especially with almost 1,000 horsepower. We need something lighter and smaller. We got something lighter and smaller here. With a nice LS3 6.2 in it. And it's supercharged. Makes all the right sounds. Actually sounds much better from the inside. Damn, it pulls hard. You thought that Speedo moved fast on the Viper? Moves even faster here, even though it has less horsepower. So it goes from like 100 to 140 miles like it's nothing. Look at that. Oh, and we already maxed it out. That was crazy. So we can do 80 to 140 here. Oh no, a dirt road. Not a big fan of dirt roads, bro. Alright, do we have anything else on the map? That championship that we just did was fun. Let's look for something else. I mean, we have completed everything pretty much. Oh, we can get a... What can we get here? The reward is a super wheel spin? Okay. So we need to do this in what, like... 18 seconds? In a hot hatch? A B-class hot hatch? Okay. I'm down to do that. So we have completed this as like a regular event, but this is the seasonal PR stunt. Okay, let's look for a nice B-class hot hatch. Do we have a nice B-class hot hatch? B and hot hatch. So we got the 2023 Fiesta ST. We got this as a reward. That's why it's worth 250k. That's like the price for all the cars that are awarded to us. They're all 250k for some reason. Really like the Mini Cooper here. We have converted this to all-wheel drive, and it's a nice car. We have won multiple championships with it. Alright, I'm gonna use the all-wheel drive Mini Cooper. I think we got a better chance in this one. Alright, we're gonna head straight to the seasonal PR championship. The PR stunt, actually. We're gonna try to win the super wheel spin. And let's start it. Our seasonal trail blazer. man! We wasted so much time there. Oh no. We might have to do it again. So where do we start that again? Over here somewhere. So, no, wait, that's not the one. This is the one, I believe. Yeah, that wasn't good enough. We needed 2 stars at least. I feel like if it didn't crash back there, we would have got the 2 stars. Well, there's another speed zone here that we can try. Oh, we're gonna need 3 stars? Oh. These are kind of tough, honestly. I don't know if we're ready again. I'll be honest with you. We'll give it one more go. Yeah, we can give it one more go. So here's the thing. I feel like I need to build a different car. How about we build the Fiesta ST? It's at the bottom of B class 615, so it's got a lot of potential. By the time we're done working on this car, it should have some nice power. Look at that. Is that a 4-cylinder or a 3? I think it's a 4-cylinder. 1.6, I believe, right? Let's double check here. So we can't exceed B class. It needs to stay within B class. 1.5 liter. Okay, it's a tiny 4-cylinder. Crazy. So it's a hot hatch, and the type of events we're trying to do are almost all on dirt. So I don't know if I should leave it front-wheel drive or convert it to all-wheel drive. Well, if we do convert it to all-wheel drive, it gets up to 631. Alright, I'll do that. And after doing that, we're gonna make it lighter. Take out 400 pounds, so it goes down to 2349. Okay. And I think we should put a rally suspension in here. All-wheel drive, rally suspension. We can go over any type of terrain, I feel like. Alright. We'll leave the brakes stock, because we're not going to be, like, really using the brakes in these events. They're almost like a straight line event through, like, you know, a tough terrain. And when it comes to the gearbox, I feel like we have the 6-speed. Yeah, 6-speed's just gonna be okay here. That's fine. I don't know what the stock gearbox is like. I've never driven this car, so I don't know. We're just straight gonna modify it without even driving it in its stock configuration. I don't know if that's a bad idea. Should we drive it first? Or should we just start modifying it for our event here. I think we should just modify this car. Add more power. Oh, we can't do that. No. Okay. Maybe we should drive this car stock and then come back and do all these things to it. Yeah. At least we're gonna know then what this car needs and what it doesn't need. Alright. So let's drive this stock, bone stock Fiesta ST from 2023. It's a front wheel drive 1.5 liter turbo. Wow, it revs up so slow and the revs drop really slow, so it must have a really heavy flywheel. Got decent handling, not gonna lie. Handles pretty decent considering this is a front wheel drive platform. Not bad. The brakes suck. I like the taillights. Nice digital dash. I mean, it's not as cool as an analog dash, but it's nice. It's got decent graphics. It pulls pretty good. Being a 1.5 liter only, it pulls good. Maybe it's the power to weight ratio. And is this a manual? Yes, it's a manual 6-speed. Got decent torque. We're in 6th gear, the top gear, all out, and it's still pulling, so the turbo really helps. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that it doesn't really need all-wheel drive. We can probably get away with leaving this car front-wheel drive. It needs more power though, I'll tell you that. If we're trying to do those speed zone events, the seasonal speed zones, it's gonna need more power than this. Plus, here's another thing. We can't really drift this car because, you know, it's front wheel drive. So instead of maybe converting it to all-wheel drive, maybe we should convert it to rear-wheel drive. All right. I'm thinking rally suspension, rally tires, and rear-wheel drive. Alright, let's do that. So we're not going to do all-wheel drive. But a rear-wheel drive might be the world's first rear-wheel drive Fiesta. And we're gonna put a 10 speed in here. We can adjust the gear ratios later. That's not a huge deal. And we're gonna reinforce the car since it's rear-wheel drive now. We're actually gonna put a roll cage in it. Rally suspension, because we are gonna be taking it off-road. And brakes, we'll work on that later, even though it needs some better brakes. Rally compound tires. So we have off-road tires, but I'm gonna go with the rally compound. Wait, where are the rally tires, bro? Here they are. Off-road would be like, you know, more for trucks and SUVs. Rally is good for dirt and a little bit on-road racing. So that's the goal here. So what's the width of the tire? 205s? That can stay 205 because we didn't add that much power to it. But now we can work on the power here. Can't really add a turbo. Maybe add cams? Yeah, let's add cams. Because right now it has more torque than, right now it has more torque than horsepower. So I feel like it needs to rev a little higher so it can match its torque figure. Well, we can't go all out with the race cams. We're gonna get the sport cams. And what about an exhaust? Okay. Alright. Pretty simple setup. It's a rear-wheel drive now, not a front-wheel drive anymore. It's got a better transmission. Roll cage reinforcement because, you know, it needs it. We're going to be taking it off-road. Plus it's a rear-wheel drive, so it helps with that. We got rally springs and dampers, rally tire compound, race cams and valves, and race exhaust. Sorry, sport cams and valves and race exhaust. So let's see how this car does now. A rear-wheel drive Fiesta. Want to make the gear ratios a little longer here, so we can hold each gear for a little longer. And now, where is the event that we were trying to do earlier? Here it is. Hot hatch, B-class restriction. The reward is a super wheel spin. Let's try it. We need 2 stars at least. Definitely feels like a rally car now. It's not the fastest, but it should get the job done. There we go. Rally mode on. Come on, Fiesta, don't let me down. We might even get 3 stars this time. Alright, how did we do? Okay. Wait, that's not the one. There it is. We actually got 2 stars. Nice. Nice. And now the next one, we need 3 stars, dude. I don't know how we're gonna do that, but we'll try. We can try. There's another one here. We have to do both of these. You have to get 3 stars here and 3 stars here. So, yeah, let's keep on going. Two stars. Yeah, Getting 90 miles in that is gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough. I don't know how we're gonna do that, man. I'll be honest with you. What if we use a different car? What if we don't use this? Is it still gonna count? I'm not sure about that. Because the restriction for the challenge is a B-class hot hatch. And I don't know how I'm gonna get this hot hatch to go faster than that. What if I change my car to the other hot hatch that I have, which is a little faster? Yeah, we got 270 horsepower. Almost the same torque. Well, here we have the most horsepower and the most torque. And it's a front wheel drive. The Sirocco. Let's try this. And if this doesn't work, we'll try the Mini. Nope. Not a chance, dude. Not a chance. Let's try the other speed zone. It's not too far from here. I'm gonna give that Mini a try. This would have been a nice Mini to try this with, but unfortunately this is not a hot hatch. This is a Baja buggy. So we're back to the hot hatch here. How did we do? A little better than last time? 81.5 miles. Yeah, 1 per hour better. I think we were at 80.5 and now we're at 81.5. Yeah, this is not gonna work. We'll try the next one. Maybe the next one will be a little easier. Here we need 110 miles, bro. I mean, we already have 2 stars, but in order to win this seasonal PR stunt, we need 110. We need 3 stars. That's so tough. Especially with a B-class hot hatch? That's impossible. Nah, dude, this is not gonna work. I already know it's not gonna work. Alright, what do we get? What do we get? What do we get? 102.6? Wait, what? I got the... Oh, wait, I completed it? Damn, dude. I guess we didn't need to get 3 stars. We just had to do them all. Do all 3 of these in order to win the super wheel spin. And we got the reward. Okay, I'm happy now. I was stressing there for a second. I was like, wait. There's no way we can get 3 stars with a B-class hot hatch. But it turned out that we didn't need to get 3 stars. We just needed to complete all 3 of them. That's nice. We got a regular wheel spin and a super wheel spin. So let's start with the regular wheel spin first. That's exciting. Oh, 20k. I almost thought we were going to get that Jag. The XJ220. That's fine. We still have the super wheel spin, so we might get something nice here. What is it going to be? Oh, okay. That's alright. 55k and a jacket? A sports coat? Not a jacket. A sports coat, okay? I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. At least we completed the event, right? We completed the championship and we completed the seasonal PR stunts. That's pretty good progress. And now let's just drive around for a little bit here to cool off, you know. What cars should we pick? Well, we do have 2 BMWs. I mean, 3 BMWs. What am I saying? The 3 BMWs, the 3 M5s. As I mentioned in the beginning of our stream. Oh, wait. I thought this was bone stock. So maybe I did modify a little bit here. Yeah. So one is fully maxed out. This is top of A class. And this is the one that we won today in the beginning of our stream, which is still completely bone stock. So we have a drift build. We have a top of A class build. What's this gonna be? I don't know. Something in mind. I'm not gonna drive this car stock because we have done that multiple times. I already know how I drive stock. Instead, we're gonna take it straight to the garage, and this is gonna be a different kind of build. So we already have a max power build, max A class build. This needs to be something different, something more unique. So let's look at the engine swap options here. Alright, we're gonna put a V12 in here. Because, as I said earlier, it needs to be different. We already have 2 V10s. One of them is a naturally aspirated V10, and the other one is a twin turbo V10. This one's gonna be a V12. It needs to be different. Okay, I'm gonna wait on the twin turbos for now. All-wheel drive V12 M5? That sounds wild, bro. That sounds scary, actually. Alright. It's gonna be unique. Hey bro, what's up? We're gonna get some nice slicks on here. Race slicks. Better brakes, Lord. Lighter. I'm not gonna make it too stiff by doing the anti-roll bars. We're not doing the chassis reinforcement either. We're gonna keep it simple but different. That's the goal here. Because again, we already have two other M5s from the same era. Same generation. 10 speed? Yes. Lighter drive shaft. And a race diff. So we're at 878 and we haven't added any boost. It's still naturally aspirated NA. I already have the anti-lag turbos on my other build, so this one I'm gonna keep it classy. Just the race twin turbos. So the V12 with twin turbos maxed out actually makes less power compared to the V10 with twin turbos, because my other build makes 1250 with the V10 and twin turbos. And that's a rear-wheel drive drift build. This is gonna be an all-wheel drive top speed build, I guess. So from the outside, it looks like a sleeper. Alright, we're putting a V12 in here, all-wheel drive. Again, I'm only doing this because we do have two other variants of the same car, right? We have two other rear-wheel drives. So this one can be all-wheel drive. You know, just mixing it up. So here's the setup. Less weight, more power, more grip. So here I actually didn't max out the tire width because we have all-wheel drive and it's gonna hook up regardless with those slick tires. I just didn't want more rotational mass because, you know, these are heavier once you go wider. And again, we have all-wheel drive, so we don't need to worry about having wider tires. I'm more concerned about the top speed here. Dang, dude. This is so much different compared to my other two BMWs. The other two M5s that I have. So now we have an NA V10 build, rear-wheel drive, twin-turbo, rear-wheel drive drift build. And now we have an all-wheel drive V12 twin-turbo build. Looks like a total sleeper from the outside. Looks like it's still stock. That's the look we were going with. And I think we have achieved that look pretty well. It gets out of the hole so fast. I can't believe that. It revs to over 11,000 RPM. It sounds so weird. It sounds good. It sounds so different though. I'm not used to this sound, bro. I rarely do any V12 builds. I'm a big fan of V8s, so V12 is out of my category, you know? Another BMW driver here. Hey, BMW guys, you guys want to race? I don't know whose car is going to be faster, but we can try. Beamer bros, bro. Bro didn't even wait. He just went. Come on, bro. You should have lined up and then went, but it's all good. Alright, I need to make my 10th gear a little sharper, a little shorter, a little too long. Alright, let's try that. Alright, I'm gonna make all the gears a little longer by adjusting the final drive. Look at that, 0 to 60 in 2 seconds flat. That's crazy. And we're on the race slicks, not on drag radials. Look at my dude in there, he's vibing. Alright, I need to adjust 9th and 10th gear. That V12 sounds so smooth, man. Tenth gear, 11,000 RPM. This is next level. 260 miles at 11,100 RPM. Oh, we're almost at 11,200, 300, 11.3k RPM. What a smooth engine, bro. The V12 sounds really rowdy in the mid-range, but once you get like above 9,000, 8,000, it smoothens out, you know? Can we find a race? Anybody want to race us? This V12 sounds nothing like the original V10 that comes with this car. It's actually much quieter in the higher RPMs compared to the V10. We're using all the gears, all the RPM, all the speed, all the horsepower. We're literally maxing it out. Man, that spoiler doesn't suit the Hellcat. It looks so weird. It actually revs to 11 and a half. 11,500. That's crazy. Now that I looked at it closely. I thought it was 11.3, but no, it's actually 11.5. This might be my highest revving car in the game. It's maxed out. It's not going to go any faster than this. This bro's down a race. Look at that. The Golf R32. You got a head start. Can we catch up? Wow, we're pretty even. I think I'm closing in the gap. I might be closing in the gap. Yes! We were so even up until like 250. And then I finally started to close the gap. So it all depends on who gets the launch first. Why is he going? I thought he was gonna line up again. That was a fast golf. Come on, do a proper race where we both leave at the same time. Damn, GTR. Wanna race, bro? Oh, too close. That blow-off valve sound is crazy. Oh, he doesn't want to race, okay. Are you gonna line up or? Huh? That was weird. That bro's a weirdo. Is that a C63? It is. This might be a nice race. Nope, he doesn't want to race either. Oh, the GTR guy's back. Yeah, it's pretty dry. There's nobody to race with. It's all good. Maybe in the next session. We're gonna call it a night here, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It really helps me out, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.